All right, Street Sarrett, the Woodrow Wilson Flying Eagles, Street Bluefield this week. Before that, you've had some pretty good play. When you have a good stable running backs and they produce, generally means you've got a pretty good offensive line. And a lot of these guys play both ways. Two of those guys are Keandre Good and Jamarcus Mans. They talk about those two guys. I think they've been with you a while, and they really bought into what the program's about.
They have. Keandre's a senior, been with us for 4 years. Goes everywhere with me, picks him up for practice, things like that. Good kid, plays both ways. Jamarcus Mann, he's a junior, same deal. Pick him up. Good kids. Always try to go out of their way to help people out. Got big futures if they want to, I believe, to play on the college level. They just got to work out some kinks in the mental aspect of it. They've got all the physical tools, but this day and time and stuff. You got kids that play both ways, and shoot, Jamarcus, he's on our kickoff return team. He plays out there, gets stuck out there on punt return sometimes. So man, it's a tough game for him. I think Keandre's 300, Jamarcus is 270. So it's a lot for two guys to play a whole ball game both ways.
I know your linebackers were very complimentary to them on the defensive line. And I think Jamarcus leads you in tackles right now through 3 games. Is this just the kind of players that they're going to be all year?
I believe so. Like I said, those D linemen, they don't care about getting tackles. And I tell them if they're calling out a linebacker's name, that means somebody had to double team you, and that linebacker was free. And so our defense is all about one unit. There's no individuals on it. So those guys, they feed off each other. And the game where Jamarcus had 10 tackles and a sack, they were all, don't let up, Jamarcus, don't let up. And so, it's just about a team effort with those guys.
And then on the other side, I mentioned the running backs. How valuable are those two guys on? Are they more valuable on offense or defense, or is it split the middle?
But I'm gonna say it's split the middle when they're on their game. When they're A+, grading out A+, it's split the middle, man. They're tough on that offensive line with their blocks. They're blocking down, getting on linebackers. They're pullers. They both pull for us in our wing T stuff. And then on defense, man, Jamarcus plays defensive end, and Keandre sits there in that middle. And man, Keandre sometimes, man, he can take up 2 gaps on an offensive line. Yeah, he can take up 2 gaps in that middle. So it usually takes 2 guys to double team him, which usually frees somebody up. And Jamarcus, man, when he wants to go, he's got some speed about him.
How much you mentioned having Doug on the staff this year, Doug Legursky, who played in the NFL. How much does it help having a guy like that?
Oh, you can't substitute it. I'm going to go out on a limb, so nobody in the state of West Virginia has a Super Bowl guy, NFL vet, coaching their offensive and defensive line. So valuable knowledge. He's addicted to it. He loves football, and he's trying to take that knowledge of everything from when he was here at Woodrow, Marshall, and in the NFL with the 3 teams, and trying to put it in these guys' minds at the age of 15, 18-year-old.
Are any of these? I mean, he won, I think, the Hunt Award as lineman of the year. Any of these guys, especially with a guy like Jamarcus, that's got a year left. Are these guys potential?
I think they do. It's all just all about how they want to perform and getting their names out there, and the sports writers seeing them and things like that. But I think there's potential there. I think we got some potential linebackers of the year with our linebackers. Just the sky's the limit if they really put their effort forward.
You got Bluefield coming in. Bluefield, the way they've done the rank, the new ratings, obviously the classifications. They're AA, you're 4A. I know you'd like to keep that rivalry because Bluefield and Woodrow.
Oh yeah,
especially in football, a real good rivalry.
Yes, it has, and it's just the nature of the beast. I hate that they did that to them and dropped them back down to AA, and we'll just have to look at it. We'll play this game this Friday night, but we'll have to look at it in the future, how these points work out, and what the SSAC decides to do with what they're going to do if they don't change their minds or somebody appeals and don't like it. So that's what we're been going on. I mean, a week before football season starts, and we're changing classification. So we'll just live with it. We'll roll on, see how the season rolls with it, and see what their final decision is.
I know most fans would look at it and say that you kind of had your way with Greenbrier East last week with Bluefield and Greenbrier East. It was a real close game. I know coaches don't go by what the results were. How do you handle that? Protect against that, because kids might see it and think, how do you guard against
Bluefield's a good football team. We just got done watching film, and man, they're from week 1 to week 3, they have vastly improved, and that just goes to show you, that Greenbrier East game with us, that's over with and done. We don't even talk about it. We're moving on. We let a game get away from us with South. We're moving on from that, and we're just trying to be 1-0 Friday night. And Bluefield's a good football team. Coach Simons he hadn't won all them state championships and coached for 40+ years because he doesn't know what he's doing. He'll have those guys ready when they come in here, and they always play us tough. We've had some nicked up games the last few years, and so I look forward to it.
What do you make of this freshman quarterback?
He
had a kind of a coming out party.
Did really well. Did really well against Greenbrier East the second half, getting it in his athletes' hands and getting there, man. So he's going to be tough kid to corral.
A good matchup between quarterbacks because your guy's a young guy too, and he's coming off his career best evening. I know you had to throw probably a little bit more than you probably don't even go into a game thinking 31 passes, but you get behind and these things happen. But let's talk about his progress.
We put ourselves in a hole a little bit, with some penalties, first and 25s. That's a tough down. So, and he came out well and done some good things, done some things that we can learn from. Just got that young quarterback eyes. Got to learn to get those experienced eyes, and with Coach Osborne with him, I think he's getting that, and he's just going to get better and better each week.
Where is the team at right now? You mentioned the loss on Friday night. Get past that now. You are 2-1. Where do you see the team being?
In my eyes, we're a top tier team. We're a top tier team. I don't look at no rankings. I couldn't tell you where we're at.
You're number 7.
Are we 7? Okay. Well,
you said top 8. So.
We're our goal is to work. We're in the playoffs and host playoff games and work our way from there. And this is a good football team. They're very senior dominated, very strong. Kids got a lot of time invested in it. And just made some mistakes against South. South's a good football team, but I think if we played them again, the outcome would be a little different.
You find yourself hanging out with the linemen a little bit more than the other guys?
Yeah. I mean, I hang out with the linemen. I've always been a line coach, hang out with them. But I'm gonna tell you what, man. I try to like go up here with the running backs and talk to them because, man, they're good kids. And then receivers, I don't get around the quarterbacks too much. I let Coach Osborne talk. I mean, the quarterback will get together when we go past Skelly, stuff like that. But it's fun. I got great coaches. I mean, I could probably sit here and they could run practice just off the clock and go, and they wouldn't need me.
Hey, Street, I appreciate it. I kind of thought you would have the line a little bit more.
Yeah, I like the line. I've coached the line every year since I've been coaching, and I enjoy it. They're just tough guys, and they're not worried about who gets credit and things like that. And they're one-on-one, and they're the guys that hang out. I hang out with in that weight room and stuff. So it's fun.
All right, Street, I appreciate your time.
All right, thank you, Dave. Appreciate you.